Like, it takes two to tango. It's not just one person to be blamed in this. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's something from back then. It was something from back then. And it took them 2 years to come up with a tweet long. So, mom, I made it to the news.
Welcome back, my delinquents. Today we have a more serious topic, an abuse topic, specifically manipulation and sexual abuse from a VTuber called Deathbloom. I had a document dropped about them abusing/manipulating multiple male VTubers at the same time as cheating on their long-term boyfriend, which turned into a disastrous stream of them downplaying this and then dropping their own document, air quotes, with the victim's nudes still attached to it, which is a bit, at the very least, illegal, among many other things. I really wanted to take my time with this story as it is more serious of a topic, but also, as a lot of people point out, the victims are male and it's important to show the same respect to all victims and their chance to be heard. If anyone wants to say anything about men or young boys not being able to get abused, air quotes or whatever, I just want to say, shut the fuck up, you assholes. Okay? Like, shut the hell up. Abuse has no gender, guys. It can happen to anyone. And I'll keep the same standards no matter who it is. Now back to the story. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's get into the story so you can tell what happened. So this situation really pops up with Killer Soul releasing a document about information from, it starts 2 years ago, but I think it goes up to around 2023 from reading it, about the Deathbloom allegations and other victims. And then that turns into their VOD, which we will go over, which their stream where they talk about the allegations, which goes very poorly as we saw at the beginning of the video, and then turns into them writing a document because obviously that went terribly and they got even more backlash. But let's start with this document. This has been in the making for 2 years. Deathblooms must be held accountable for her actions. This is mine's and other experience with her. Okay, we're going to start off with the introduction and then we'll just go down. My name is Killer Soul VT. You might not know who I am, but I hope this doesn't make you discount the things I'm about to share with you about the VTuber known as Deathblooms. This has been a document that I've been putting off making for a very, very long time. I initially did not want to make a statement about my negative experience with her as I felt like it was a personal drama that I had to deal with on my own and would rather keep to myself so I could move on. I document off due to fear of me potentially being harassed by members of her community. However, with the recent knowledge I have gathered over the course of the past 2 years, I have no choice as now I am not the only victim. AKA, they're coming out because there's multiple people with complaints about Deathblooms and they want everyone to kind of know so they can avoid her at the very least. And they, again, and I would like to reiterate this too, don't harass people, don't do a witch hunt. This is information so other VTubers and other creators and other viewers can know what's happening and they can avoid people like this at the very least. On to the allegations. Deathbloom has used multiple male VTubers, including myself, in order to cheat on their potentially former partner. So they had a former partner, there's multiple men that they cheated with, and they, Deathbloom seemed to be manipulating them, lying to them, emotional abuse stuff, but the sexual abuse, I think I can say sexual on YouTube. The sexual abuse seems to be unsolicited nudes and asking for nudes and pre-pressuring into sexual activities. So those are kind of separated there so you don't get confused, because I saw a lot of people confused thinking, but just lying to you isn't sexual abuse, and that's not what they're referring to. They're referring to, the solicitation of nudes and sending nudes without permission or without asking. Because, guys, you are not supposed to send nudes unless someone asks for them. That's technically an assault. So don't do that. Don't send nudes to people unless they ask for them. Okay? It's pretty simple. Black and white on that one. During our flirting interactions, she never once gave me an indication she was poly or any form of non-monogamous. My experience. How do I know this? Back when Deathblooms and I periodically been very flirty and intimate online with each other, she was allegedly living with a roommate, air quotes. I was led to believe she had dated for only 2 months. I was led on constantly by her as she kept insisting she wanted to date me and leave her bad relationship for me, but kept me at arm's length at the time. I started to get suspicious, so I had a friend look into her and try to see if my suspicions were confirmed. My friend ended up having a call with Blooms where they found out that she'd been dating her partner for almost 3 years. Okay, so We do want to, I am going to separate it into two lots, you know, the abuse and manipulation per se, because I know a lot of people get like wishy-washy when it's manipulation. I would say at the very least, let's not downplay this. This is scummy. Anyone who lies to someone to get sexual gratification or romantic stuff, scummy at the very least, and is manipulating someone and is, like a lot of people say, kind of emotionally abusive. Because you're kind of misleading people and, you know, destroying them emotionally. So... But let's go into the messages. Yeah, that's why I've been confused and conflicted. Plus, she told me they were only dating for 2 months. What? She told me they have been dating 3 years. He's half German. They are visiting his family in Germany. Definitely sounds like a unhappy relationship. This is something that really peeves me off with a lot of cheaters, is that they always like, I'm in such an unhappy relationship. But no, they just want you to feel sorry for them. A lot of the time, there is like nothing wrong with the relationship, except, you know, when there's abuse. But usually it's just better to leave, as everyone agrees, no matter the situation, it's better to leave than cheat. Yeah, there can be reasons, but it is usually just better to leave. Afterwards, my friends would inquire with another person to gather more context, and they would come to find out this person was another victim of hers. Talking to right now, he and Blooms are apparently flirty about 8 months ago and talked about dating, but never actually dated, and he likes her a lot too. And this is going to go into something here, dislikes her a lot too. Death Bloom's, one of the defenses in the VOD is that a lot of people hate her for no reason. And I'm not saying that's a definite red flag if someone's like, a lot of people hate me for no reason. Yeah, guys, there's usually a reason. Because some people can hate you because of misunderstandings or you came across each other at bad times. But when you're like, a lot of people hate me for no reason, it just also screams a lack of accountability for like those situations. After many attempts, she sent me this last message on Discord. Killer, I don't know what I did to you that you're ghosting me. I'm sorry if I've hurt you, but I wish you well and good luck with your donathon. Goodbye. Goodbye. This was one of the worst experiences of my entire VTuber career and left me genuinely scared to interact with other streamers. I genuinely liked her at the time and thought that we could have a relationship. While that might have been naive, I feel valid in faulting her for purposely leading me on in order to stroke her own ego. It took a lot of effort from friends to help me get back to a place where I feel comfortable getting close to others again. This is completely understandable. Like the first time, especially like online or in certain social situations where you're misled and manipulated, it can really like shake your foundation of what you think is a straightforward thing. Find someone you like, they like you back. Romance. But instead, there's lying, manipulation, and it's completely fine for that first experience, or even your second or third, to really like shake up how you view the world. Because realistically, every little trauma you have like this does change you as a person. And it's understandable that they feel like this. Anonymous source has shared with me several victims of Death Blooms have all agreed to remain anonymous for the sake of this document, and therefore have been censored. Even if you can figure out who these people are, I encourage you not to contact them or spread their names around. These screenshots reveal a history of sexual manipulative behavior and unprofessionalism. They also indicate several instances where Death Blooms has cheated on her partner or has led people to believe she has no partner. Internet cheating tale as old as time. Unfortunately, stay safe, my brothers. First off, let me introduce you to Death Bloom's partner, not the dates as well. These posts are all made on public Instagram account that own and link to Death Bloom's other social media accounts. It takes surprisingly little effort to find. Seeing Death Bloom himself has put these around, I will keep these informations, but when we look at Death Bloom's one where they leak people's nudes, I will censor that. Just because even though you can find it, I would prefer not to be another source to accidentally find images they don't want out there. Let's leave it to them. Let's keep it private. So here is their partner, here is Death Bloom. This is Darcian, the mage, Death Bloom's partner of 4 years. Again, all of this public on her Instagram, but I decided to censor the name as a safety measure. On top of that, Darcian has made appearance on Death Bloom's stream before, so his name is not entirely unknown. Yep, as we will see in a bit, we will see him on her stream. He's even been in Facecam stream in 2021, dressed up as Lady Demisture. I can't say that, Demisture. But you know who that is. While the Instagram account is not incredibly active, Bloom still posts here from time to time. The latest posts were made in August 2024 and have been liked by Darcina, indicating that they are still together. But even if they are not, the dates show that they have been dating during the time she's been leading on other people. Now on to the victims. Anonymous victim 1. This is probably the most important one, as Blooms has specifically expressed to this person that she would leave her partner for him. The evidence was gathered in October 2023, but this person time with Death Blooms happened in May 2023. We got some messages here of... Okay. You know how I hate reading messages. This is gonna be rough. Death Blooms. Me, shorty, chubby me. I don't know what that means. Hun, I'm always be around. I'm yours. Yes, shorty little you. Shorty little you, I'm assuming. I know we will always be close, but you are still unsure. That worries me. No, nearly as much as my house or moving, but it piles up, or the fact that my fucking car just died. I'm sure it's the batteries. Maybe. We're fine. We're just gonna be fine. I also want your toy to be here. I'm so stressed I have not been horny at all, because my head still hurts. Alright, I want to ask for smexy time then. So, at the very least, I guess this kind of shows that she is, like, doing sexual activities online with these guys. I wish I could just instantly leave everything behind and be there. I do want you in my life, so I can't, though. And that is what you need to figure out, what you want. For now, I can't, because I need time. How you want to be. So take that time. Use your mind. Okay? I think I get the gist of that one. Sorry. I will ask for a last time. I thought I was bad at texting. Find what you want, and once you are done with all that, I will be here waiting as a friend, like I said before. If you don't mind, asking, make it quick, I need to lay down. Alright, if I break things up, are you sure you want us? It is up in the air. You figure out if you want to break up first. Don't think about me. You need to handle your boy first and foremost. Don't use me as a tool to break it off with him. I'm not using you. Take the time to understand what you want. Really think on it. Please listen to me. I have feeling for you, and it's genuine. It's a big step for me to leave everything behind, my apartment, my family, my country. Are you sure you want us? I do what's to done with this month. Okay, I can't read that one. This is a thing, like, is pretty wise. If someone has a partner and they want to leave their partner for you, no, because it puts a lot of pressure on there, and you never know if they really want to leave. So you should only leave someone because you don't want to be with them. Don't leave to be with someone else. Don't line up another boyfriend or girlfriend to move on. That is incredibly unhealthy. Obviously, it's unhealthy to be the mistress or the side piece guy, because you're going to end up really hurt, because it's just an unhealthy situation in general. That's nothing against this guy at all. That's just a little bit of advice in there. She is screaming red flags. What did I do? It's not about you, it's about me, how I feel. So do you not want to continue being friends? I'm sorry you feel that way. Why are you deleting messages? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not okay. I've felt this way for a long time. I'm stupid. It's stupid. I still want to be friends, but I understand if you don't. We just needed to wait till we meet. That's all I asked. I told blah, blah, blah. And everyone in the call made fun of me leaving. I don't know what that's about fully. It's a little too scuffed and censored. Only time will tell, but I want closure. You are not the only one here. I had feelings as well. I'm not asking you to leave everything. I know. I'm telling you to figure out your issue. And I will. Once you figure it all out with Dark, then talk to me. I'm tired of lingering in limbo. Which, he's asking the bare minimum. Work out your shit first. Work out your shit first, then bring me into it. You never want to be brought into someone's couple's problems. I will be your friend until then, nothing more. I know who I am, what I want, where I'm going. Once you do the same, let me know. I'm happy we met, and that's why I want to stay friends. So I hope you have a great time on your trip, and stay safe until I wish you well. There we go. This is probably the best account I have, as these messages show Deathbloom's talking about leaving her partner for this victim. She also specifically talks about them being sexual with each other. Note the dates. The conversation happened literally 2 days before Blooms left for her trip in Europe with her boyfriend and his family. 2 days before the vacation, she's talked to another man about breaking things up with Darcy to be with him instead. This is someone who, similar to me, was led on by Deathblooms. Much like me, he expected them to end up dating. She displayed behaviors of claiming this person as hers and acted jealous about him showing interest in someone else. The victim specifically was not aware that Deathbloom has a partner. Okay, guys, I want to outline here, because a lot of people was going to point this out, because I saw a lot of people pointing it out back and forwards. This is fucked up, obviously. Cheating is bad, manipulating people is wrong, etc. And it is close to emotional abuse, but technically in the law, it is not abusive or sexual abuse. Technically, I know it's annoying, but technically cheating is not abuse. I know it's annoying, but damn those pesky no-fault laws. So I will continue to separate these, and I 100% what she's doing is wrong and immoral and bad in general. This is a bad thing to lead on multiple people and just manipulate them, while obviously kind of having no one to actually leave your relationship. But I just wanted to make everyone aware, before people scream in the comments, well, technically, that I am aware of that, and I will stick to what parts are 100% abuse and what's manipulation. I would personally put manipulation as a form of abuse, but apparently some people don't. But yeah, so when I speak manipulation, for me, that's abuse. You can interpret it any other way you want. Personally, I think people take a little bit too much of a light hand with bad behavior like this. They're just like, oh, well, technically, it's not that evil. And I'm just like, well, technically, you're still an asshole. So do what you will. Everyone has their different standards on this. But honestly, I think we should be harder on this. We should be harder on this crappy behavior, honestly. It's like when people cheat or treat people like shit like this, we should call them out and say, you're an asshole, at the very least. Well, she used to claim as her little cub tomorrow. I can even send she did that thing to my pup with a collar with her tag on it. She's really into that dog stuff. She has done it for at least a year. She did it with me, a few, and my friends, and even went as far as claiming us to an extent. Claiming us, oh no. And I'm sorry if I get more fiery here. It is very humid and hot here in Oz, so I'm like dying because the aircon's off to record this. So if I get really riled up, I'm sorry, my brothers. I know I didn't post much on here because I wanted to send to you. It's more personal and wanted to send to you. Sometimes I wonder if I'm reading it wrong, but that's scuffed. It's more personal and intimate and intimidate. I assume it's supposed to be intimidating or intimate. This comes from the depth of my core. I know we've had our differences and had a lot of things that didn't make sense. But one thing is clear and simple is that I don't want to lose what we have. The bond between a protecting cub and his succubus to protect him back and forth. I really like you. You make me feel a certain way that not many people have been able to achieve. Reason why I get possesses over you. We haven't known each other for a long time, but ever since we did, it was an instant connection. So I have no words to really describe it. Next to her, I feel like she's really going in this like it's role play, and that's a terrible sign. But I wanted to apologize. I've been weird. I have been going through a lot of stuff. I wanted you around since I am alone as fucking be super insecure because people, friends, families, a lot of people have been hurting me my whole life. I'm scared and broken, but when you were around, I feel happy and safe. Not having you around, it's like I fall into the void defenseless. The sucker is nothing without her. I'm gonna assume his nickname. I wish you a very happy birthday. I do hope things will get better between us because I miss all of it, every second with you. And I'm so proud of everything you've achieved until now, and you will achieve as well. We shall grow bigger together. Let's fucking rule the internet. Break it even. Cringe. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to take it serious, but cringe. Okay, next to obviously a ego in here. It's a bit manipulative, seeing she kind of talks the same way to every single guy here. Different nicknames, slightly different love talks. But she tries to make them feel special, unique, and just imperative to her recovery and care, which is a very standard manipulation technique, annoyingly enough. It's called love bombing, where you pretty much just make someone feel incredibly important to every part of your love, life, and affection, so they feel like that you can't leave them. She's trying to make it so they won't leave her. And that is my interpretation of the situation. A lot of people's gonna be like, no, you can't just assume things. That's just my interpretation, guys, okay? Doesn't make it fact. I'm just interpreting. And that is I'm just coming from this point of side that she has many guys she has done this to. And so that's what I'm picking up on here. So, but let's continue on to this. These poor fellas, honestly. Okay, yeah, people before you, but don't give me time of fucking day. Oh my god. English is a skill sometimes. A skill I don't have. Like, you have, but you straight up said you couldn't date someone young because people labeling you as a cradle snatcher. How young? The internet has made me incredibly suspicious. I mean, I've dated younger guys. You told me you wouldn't date me because I was young and stuff. Like, I'm turning 22 blooms. Okay, 22. Dodged. Yeah, sorry. Single Pringle A, are we dating? Did we have a talk about you being romantic? Ah, never mind. Yeah, I was gonna be romantic, but you told me distance. We wouldn't date. Go be the guardian of. It's all good, bud. I should have known you weren't serious when you said you had feelings for me. I was fucking serious, but you said distance. We couldn't, like, oh my lord, I'm guessing. I don't know the slang of today. Yeah, I swear. You got worried, I got mad. Yes, I am entitled to special time with my special man for his special day. Your streaming is how long? An hour long setup, and about to have someone install a computer part. Oh, yeah? It used to be me. I've lost what's in there. See, I'm sorry, but like this has happened to a lot of VTubers I know, and a lot of viewers too, where they kind of get roped into these relationships where the person is like trying to control them, and they try and use it to their gain in the VTubing community. And I'm not trying to be lighthearted about this at all. Like, sometimes I crack jokes just to, like, cut the cringe, because some of the ways the talk is cringe, but also just, like, lighten the mood on this a little bit. Hey, Boot Blooms, you're a friend, so I hope I get your support. I'm talking to someone else as I'm trying to date them.
I care for you as a friend, but the possessiveness may need to be turned down a bit, and you need to understand my feelings have become towards someone else, and I want to get to know to see if it works. Which is fair, seeing she is unavailable. Sure, all good, we're good. Just wanted you to know you are important, pat scub. I know, and I'm grateful because you're important to me as well. We have said we couldn't date because of distance. I want you in my life. You're my closest friend I have. There, you said it, closest friend. That's what I needed here. I will refrain from acting romantically on stream, fine, for content only. Stop mentioning stuff about content. I don't want to hear about content. Okay. In real life, I will behave like I do with friends, and I will stop being mad. Blooms, we said we could never be more than close friends because of the distance. I don't know why, but it feels like messages are deleted here, or maybe I'm just not, the flow seems slightly off in some of these. But I guess they, keep having the same argument, because it seems she's trying to get at something out of this argument. AKA them staying interested. And as they say in this document, to keep him on the hook. And I feel like that is the best way to describe this. This is hooking, where they're trying to keep just enough out there that they stay in their pocket. She says she won't date him, then gaslights him by saying it's obvious he isn't serious about her, and gets upset when he talks about wanting to see someone else. The date for this is 2022. The person was interviewed by a friend who wants to stay anonymous. Okay, if you hear the aircon, I'm sorry, but I did my best, but I'm dying here. I'm sorry if I was a little bit concentrated near the end there. It's so hot. So I turned on the aircon because my brain's about to fry. Sending, I never knew she even had a boyfriend, but I don't know whether they are jokes or not, but they seem pretty flirtatious. I want to say she tried to date me, but definitely something else. She tried to fuck you then. Well, she tried online stuff, but I was kind of dull until they just gave up. Yeah, so it seems like they just tried to, accost them, if that makes sense. The person talked to Death Balloons 23 as well. I will say here, guys, getting accosted by someone who's cheating, yet cheating is bad, that is not abuse, though. Okay. So this is, a nothing one. I would say some of these, in a lot of, points, as we all know, some documents, some things should not be included because they're not relevant, and they actually take away from a point. It's like building a court case. You keep the important ones. Because, yeah, she cheated and stuff, but that's just a moral thing. It's not really a cancellation thing, if that makes sense. But I guess they said this is more of a warning than a cancellation, so it is supposed to be portrayed more like a warning to other people, and I guess it does back up the fact that she hits on a lot of people. The victim has unsolicited nudes sent to them repeatedly, even after being told not to do so. And this is the bigger one that I see, that why I picked up this story, because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about enough of how bad it is to send nudes unsolicited, and how bad it is to share nudes or take nudes or unsolicited, or stuff like that. Or it's the same with unwanted touching, guys. It's in the same thing, and it's bad. And so I really wanted to read this part and talk about it, because I feel like a lot of guys don't realize that when women send you nudes too, that is also unwanted sexual action. You know what I mean? Or abuse. However you want to word it. Because I hear too many guys going, well, I'd just be happy to get a vagina. No, it's bad. A lot of people just don't want it, guys. Just like some women don't want dick pics, a lot of men don't want just random vajayjays, okay? It's the same. Don't send them unless you're asked. Desmond's excuse for her behavior is saying she didn't think a vtuber would be bothered by receiving nudes. Hi, are you mad at me or something? I sent you pretty decent. Did I do something? I'm not mad, I'm just uncomfy. There's been a few times that you've just sent shit unsolicited when I said something to you about asking first. So again, I'm not mad, I'm just distant because I don't feel super comfy around you. I didn't want to say anything more on it because I've said something before and I was hoping it'd stop, but it didn't. You don't need to apologize or anything, just ask before you send stuff. Ideally, time will cure this uncomfortableness. Well, I'd still like to apologize because I didn't know about your discomfort and you should have voiced out instead of things bottling up. That feels a little blamey there, they're blaming them for how dare you not tell me they shouldn't have sent you unsolicited news. You should have just not done it. It's most people don't appreciate it, and they don't like it. Don't do it. Weird that the Death Balloon did that. But just be sure when you say sending unsolicited, do you mean pictures, venting? I like to know so that I don't make the same mistake. And ignorance again, I think it's unfair to punish me for when I don't know what I did wrong. Blaming them for being upset at them. We're just going for all the basic signs of being abusive, aren't we? I'm not gonna beg or anything, but if you really think about me as a friend, then it would be really appreciated of you to explain the situation properly and give your friendship another try. Also, I suppose we're just gonna be fellow content creators that know each other. I mean, I'm not punishing you at all, just stating that my lack of confidence has made me less inclined to reach out. It isn't me trying to get revenge, justice, or whatever, it's just me prioritizing my comfort. And again, you don't have to be friends with anyone you don't want to do, even if you're just I don't get along with them as much as I think I could with other people. That's enough. You don't have to be friends with anyone. You don't have to like everyone. Sometimes you're just like, you're cool, but like sometimes the jokes don't hit and I don't want to be around you. Sorry, homie. Like that's, it's as simple. It's not a punishment not hanging out with someone. That's just life. I did voice before not to send me lewd things out of the blue, and it did happen more times than the first. I voiced my discomfort about each time you didn't ask, you just kind of sent shit, which is what I voiced the discomfort about before. I'm pretty sure I voiced again at some point, but I could not. Either way, I did mention it before at least once. Each time I was hoping that you would just stop doing it and that I wouldn't have to confront you about it. I'm not really bottling anything up. I'm not mad. I'm just not holding a grudge. I just have a feeling of discomfort, which is a lot of people when they find stuff discomfortable, they just avoid it. So they're like, I don't want to be friends with them anymore or be around them because they make me uncomfortable. That's not a punishment. That's just a decision people make when they don't like a person. Fair enough, but I didn't think sending you pics that I put on Twitter would be such a probe. And you do from time to time tell me to check you're not so safe for work stuff. But anyways, wasn't pixeling a YouTube to be uncomfy for sexy pics, but I'll make sure that it doesn't happen again. Good luck with your stuffs. I don't have anything for other times. She deleted sending shit and the apologies for sending shit. Yeah. I don't know, it's like weird. If you had an OnlyFans, like, oh, when my stuff is public and you send it to a friend, does that make it okay? Well, you could have found it online. No, that's not how it works. It's happening with a male person sending answers to a female person. I don't need to imagine that. I think both are equally wrong. I don't even have to, but I understand why he's iterating it like that. Because some people find it hard to imagine that some guy would be like, especially some other guys, not pointing fingers, that a man wouldn't want boobs, but a vagina? That's crazy talk. And I would have to say, like, there's a time and place for sexual things. And most of the time, random times aren't the time, you know? Most people don't want random people's bodily parts or fluids or whatever. And so I don't need to imagine it like that. But yes, guys, imagine if this was any other dynamic, you'd be like, that's gross, that's weird, what a weirdo, at the very least. So let's keep that same energy. And apparently this is the entire time they've been dating. Okay. Victim 5, this conversation in 2023, the victim in question had been with sexual through a voice chat. They also talked about doing sexual things at TwitchCon. He was aware that she wasn't single, but says she claimed to be in a rough relationship, a pattern that repeats from when she was leading me on. And I got a question that is kind of tied to a story, but he's like, hey, has there ever proves flirty with you? Yes. I figured it was in her nature not single, though. She did say she had a rough relationship. Could I bother you for a screenshot of that? I would say a lot of things like this, like he's aware that she wasn't single the entire time. Again, yeah, cheating's bad, but this is not really, like, connecting into the abuse. Like, I would prefer if this kind of stayed to the abuse, because being led on is not great, but it's not abusive. It's been misled. It's in the manipulated thing. So yeah, I will skip over that one because it just seems to be he knew she had a boyfriend and they mutually cheated on that boyfriend together. X quotes. As for details, no details on the boyfriend. Anything he stated hasn't had sex in a while and they've been kind of distant. Yeah, normal justifications for people like this where they try and justify their cheating, which is gross. But yeah. So this, I would say this document does have a few good points onto the fact of being, like, manipulations, lying, which I think is a good thing to point out, and it's good to make your fellow people aware, so I will underline this. This is not supposed to be a cancellation. I would say the unsolicited nudes and stuff is way more serious. Slash seem to be using, like, VTubing as a dating service, and also just using these men to probably push their career a bit here. Let's be real, seeing they keep focusing back around on content creation, bit cringe. But I would say, like, some of the parts where, like, people are, so she had a boyfriend and I cheated with her, it's like, yeah, you were aware of cheating then. That's not manipulation. You just made a bad decision to be with someone because you knew they had a boyfriend and you still went out with them, or you did sexual things with them. Because realistically, we don't have any clue what her relationship is at all, so we can't, like, determine any of that. But as we know, a bad relationship isn't a reason to cheat. Ideally, you should leave. But I think should be focused on more is the people, like, completely being lied to, misled, and sent unsolicited pictures and sexual content. Would you say in there? Is it just you've been misled, you've been coerced, or would you say it's in there? I'm not gonna 100% point, like, this is 100% is, because I feel like it's like a road, right? Like, at some point you're there, you're at abuse, and before that you've been misled. If that makes sense?
But I would say it is good at the very least to know this information so no one else falls for their lies, no matter what it is here. No matter where it lays on the manipulation to extreme abuse scale, it is a good thing that this information is out about this person so no one else falls prey to it. You know, and I'm happy to have a discussion in the comments about it, because I'm always like willing to like have people's brains picked on this so I can better understand. And it's like, you know what, I didn't even think about that, you guys are right. But let's go on to the next part. Holy crap, that was long. Okay, we're gonna go over to her VOD. I'm gonna highlight some of the things here and like talk about it a bit in here. This has gone on far longer than I thought. My bad here.
Yeah, but full disclosure,
All
if
right.
you see on the post, if you want to dig around and look at that or whatever, but if you see comments under Darcian, that's me. I just don't use social media. All
Yeah,
right,
he does
so
not use Twitter. He does not use Twitter, and he was just trying to, like, defend his partner.
yeah, and I am not. Look, I don't exist online. All right, and yeah, I was just trying. I guess it was the wrong move because you shouldn't fuel the fire, but I was just mad about false accusations like that. And just, I just had to say my piece. That's it. But then I was called an alt account that Blooms made to respond to
Yeah,
those
so
things.
like, oh, I
So
created an account just to reply for myself. Dude, if I but yes, this whole matter is about like this person going ahead and saying that I am manipulative. I've used them for advantages and apparently send unsolicited or like flirting and pictures and whatnot. And whatnot.
yeah, so just for full context, for those calling me a cuck, right? Because you don't have the context. And I mean, I didn't want to slap Blooms's and I private life in front of everyone, but since the allegations are so dire and it's no joke, I guess we just have to say it how it is, right? We
Yes.
just gotta what is supposed to be private needs to be wide in the open now. So, yes, Blooms has had a boyfriend, me, for a long, long time. Our relationship had a lot of ups and downs, especially at the beginning of last year and the year before, where we couldn't, like, at some point it was difficult to make it work because we are
Yeah.
two difficult people. We have our own, like, issues and all that. And to be honest, at some point, just like in regular relationships, things go bad, right? Like,
Yeah. Also,
there's not.
like it takes time to like be sure of like whether you want to end up with this person or not. There is a lot of times like people start dating and even after 10 years then realize that they are not made for each other and stuff like that, right? And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So we've
Exactly.
had our rough patches where we had ups and downs, where we were like, maybe this is not working out. Maybe we should see other people and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Blooms did message a few other people when we had this rough patch. I
Hmm.
messaged an ex of mine, which I'm not proud of. Of course, thankfully, this didn't go anywhere because why would you ever message an ex? That is the dumbest thing you could do. But anyway, right? Like, it happens, ups and downs. If you look at all the screenshots from the post, those date back from last year or the year before or whatever, right? When we had this pretty difficult rough patch of getting to live together and understand each other. And what the people who read this without any context think is that I knew that she was messaging other people and I was all right with it. Which is, I didn't know, she didn't know I was, but at this point we were barely talking too, because that's how bad it was at that point in the relationship.
Hmm.
We didn't really have a time to talk it out. And then in the middle of last year, we had a long, long talk about what we wanted and all that, and we just made things good. And
Yeah.
if you notice on the posts, nothing happened or nothing is posted, quote unquote, for this year or the other half of last year.
Yeah, so
So
because we've talked, it's like the last like drama that they screenshotted was when before we went on the Europe trip,
yeah,
and this is where we actually had a very serious talk, um and we decided what was the next move of our our relationship. So
You're
sometimes you break and you come back together and stuff like that. So instead of just like, I am glad the issue of you being okay, but a lot of people felt manipulated sexually for favors like free art. The thing of the free art, I don't understand. Like it was talked about, and a lot of the thing were like I paid for it. For example, I had a situation last year with certain artists, and they gave me a free art by their own willing.
Just so you guys know, we're just talking about it all bit by bit. All right. We see your
Yeah,
questions as well
I
about
will
the
get
leading
through.
people and all that. We'll get to that. Don't worry.
Yes.
I mean, she'll get to that. I don't really have much about it, but
All right.
all I'm saying, real quick, before that, is that literally, and let's be honest here, guys. I could look at any DM at all from you, from most people, look at flirtatious attempt with other people, screenshot specific things that I'm looking for, post it, and then do a claim. You don't have the full context. You don't have the relationship from the first message to the last. You don't know how the interaction began. It's all hearsay. So let's just keep an open mind here and understand that this could literally anyone could get a screenshot of messages that they're not too proud of, because we all had that.
And like this has been like I had like this hate group for quite a long time. Like they've been like going around asking people whether we had voila. They've been asking people whether they've interacted with me and how was it. First of all, I'm a YouTuber. So I post sexy stuff. As well as I am a succubus, so flirtatious by nature. It is a persona. I am, well, naturally, even IRL, very flirtatious as person. And if you were not okay, let's say you and I were talking, right? And you did not like me being flirtatious, you could have just said it at the very start. Look, I'm not okay with that. I'm taken or whatever. Like, it takes two to tango. It's not just one person to be blamed in this. It's a two people thing. And things could have just been discussed and talked through because we're adults, instead of like just ghosting, blocking, and then like after 2 years or many years or whatever, just going ahead and be like, hey, this she is wrong and stuff like that, you know.
Also, real quick, I saw one message by Dark Sovereign about the fact that our relationship was undisclosed. But does that mean that every single person online, because look, let's be honest here, Blooms plays a succubus online. How interesting would it be if, like, I'm just saying, she's a tuber. It's less interesting if she has a boyfriend, right? And also, if you get famous online, do you really have to say your whole life how it is? Is that like, are you supposed to be public property and say everything that's going on in your life, who you're related to, who you're talking to, who you're friends with, what you're like? It's it's not everyone's business. She's just doing entertainment, playing video games for people.
And they keep
People don't need to
saying
know all that.
like abuse. Like, how is it abuse if both people were interested into each other and there was a chemistry between them? How is that abuse?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I don't understand this part. How is that
yeah.
abuse? I'm not saying
So
like
yeah,
I did not break their heart by telling them I'm not interested, or like if I cut things like a lot of them are like they either they ghosted me, or we stopped things, or we just stayed friends. Well, supposedly friends. So
and also, sure, okay. In a way, devil's advocate, right? You hurt a few people's feelings by flirting with them, and that led to nothing. And you made them feel special for a while, and all that. They were back and forths and all that. Okay. Also, like, I'm just saying that as someone who is human, and we've all had like those weird conversations flirting with other people, right? But like, uh, personally, me as someone who tries to spend as little time online as possible, why you don't want to start a witch hunt, but why are you starting a witch hunt? Like,